Okay, in this video, we're going to try our second example using integration by parts. And so I'm just going to write our integration by parts technique at the top corner in green. When we have the integral of u times the differential dv, that will be u times v minus the integral of v du. And so we are starting with the integral on the left. We have to make a choice for u and for dv. You might recall from our previous video that we can use the acronym LAIATE to help us choose u. And so the questions that I ask myself here is, first, do we have a logarithmic function in the integral? And the answer is no. Do we have an inverse function, that's the I in LIATE? We do not. Do we have an algebraic function? And here the answer is yes, we do. Because x squared is an algebraic function and sine x is a trigonometric function. Because a is earlier on in our acronym, we're going to let u be x squared, and everything else in the integrand will be our dv, which will be then sine x dx. And now what we need to do is find du, the differential du, which we find by taking the derivative, and v, which we find by taking the antiderivative of dv. So the derivative of x squared will be 2x dx, and v, antiderivative of sine, will be negative cosine x. Okay, so let's set up our integration by parts, and hopefully the new integral will be less complex than our original. So we have, on the left, we have the integral. Our original integral is x squared sine x dx. And on the right side, we'll do u times v. So we have a negative x squared cosine x minus the integral of v du. So that's going to be a negative cosine x times 2x dx. Let's work on that right side a little bit, and then we'll examine what we have. So we've got our negative x squared cosine x. And then here we have a minus, but we also have a negative cosine, so this will become plus. And I'm going to pull out the 2 as a constant outside of the integral and rewrite this as x times cosine x dx. Now this is not a simple integral, but if we think about what we have here in relation to what we originally started with, what we started with was an algebraic function x squared times sine x, and what we have here is x times cosine x. We still have a product. This is not a u sub problem, so we still cannot just do a regular antiderivative or a substitution, but the power of x has decreased by 1. We still have a trig function. So I would say that this is less complex than our original because the power of x has gone down by 1. And so I would assume that if we try to do integration by parts one more time, then if the power of x goes down again, x to the 0 will be just a 1, a constant, and we'll have a trig function to integrate, which we know how to do. So we can apply integration by parts more than once in one specific problem, and that's what I'm going to do in this problem. So we're going to do this very carefully. We're going to work just on this integral, and we're going to apply integration by parts again. I'll just call it parts, so I don't have to write as much, but we'll apply integration by parts again to this integral. And so recall that here we have to make some choices. What will u be, and what will dv be? So using LIATE, we have no logarithmic function and no inverse function, but we do have an algebraic function. That's just the x. So we're going to let u be x. And everything else in the integrand will be our differential dv. So dv will be cosine x dx. To get du, we differentiate u. the derivative of x is just 1 dx. And to obtain v, we will take the antiderivative of cosine of x, which is sine x. So let's go ahead and set up integration by parts on that right side for our second attempt here, or our second part. So from the original integral, we had the negative x squared cosine x, and we still have that constant 2. And now we're going to apply integration by parts to the integral of x cosine x dx. So that's going to be u times v, which will give us x sine x, minus the integral of v du, and that's sine x dx. And so this is looking pretty good, because this integral, well, we know how to do that, right? We know how to take the antiderivative of sine x. So we're ready to finish this problem and evaluate that last integral. So we'll get negative x squared cosine x. I'm going to go ahead and distribute the 2, so plus 2x sine x. And then minus 2, antiderivative of sine will be negative cosine, so this will become a plus 2 cosine x. And because this is an indefinite integral, we will have a plus c. And this is our final solution to this indefinite integral. So in this example, we had to apply integration by parts twice. But it was hopeful because we could see that the first integral from integration by parts was a little bit less complex than the original.